Hello, viewers. My name is Apostle Helen Udokeno. I welcome you to Majesty Christian Television Network. At this point, we are very grateful that you have tuned in and you are welcoming us in your home and also in any of the device that you are watching this broadcast from. Thank you. It's a privilege and we appreciate it. So today we have something very, very special, as it is that we are in the summer season, as you know, so people are itching to travel and they just want to go from one country to another country. But you must also remember that if you just dive into traveling without taking the necessary precaution, you may come back with some sicknesses. So because of that, we have decided to invite an expert to come and tell us some of the things we're supposed to know, what we're supposed to do before we travel. So we're examining the importance of inoculation before traveling. That's our topic for today. And to do justice to this topic, we have our own, say our own. We have our own, one of our own, a seasoned, qualified, registered general nurse from Nigeria.
Amen.
Our own, a public health officer who gives information and give advices to those who are traveling to the tropical areas on how to stay healthy. So, all our fans all over the world, permit me to introduce to you a very special one, whom I've come to love from the day I met her when I went to get my own inoculation. Please permit me to introduce to you Mrs. Catherine Adu for Fasoransi. All the way she works with the Tropical Centrum Amsterdam Medical Academy. Mrs. Catherine, welcome, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a privilege to have you.
It is a pleasure.
Today you're not wearing your white. And when you are really doing your job, you are so busy. Yeah. very busy. But still, I see the other side of you. You are very down to earth. So we are privileged to have you.
It is a privilege to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So just give us a bit about who you are. Tell us a little bit. Tell our viewers so that they can be comfortable with you.
Okay. My name is Catherine Olukemi Adu Fashoranti.
Fashoranti. Oh, okay.
The Adu being my marital name.
Yeah.
I'm married to Martin Adu.
Okay.
And the Fashoranti is my father's name.
Yeah.
All right. I'm a registered nurse. Mm-hmm. I graduated from the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, Nigeria.
Yeah.
In 1988.
Wow.
And after that, I moved to the UK to join my husband and work there for some more. Mm-hmm. In 1995, we moved down to Holland because of my husband's job.
Okay.
And God's so good, as a nurse, you can work anywhere.
Yeah.
So and I'm grateful to God I was able to also work here after learning the language.
Yeah.
Because the language is not English. It's Dutch, so you have to learn that. And I worked for some time. And then from 2006, I just thought prevention is my passion.
Okay, prevention.
Like whatever you can do to make sure you don't get ill,
yeah,
to do it. And that was when I came to start working for the KGD Den Haag. That's the body that watch out for infections in Holland to make sure infections don't get here.
Yeah.
And if they're here, that we attack them immediately and make sure they're gone.
Okay.
So I worked for them for 4 years. And I worked for 2 years with Bonnet.
Okay.
Also in the vaccinations.
Okay.
Prevention.
Yeah.
After that, since 2016, I've been working for the AMC.
Yeah.
The Amsterdam Medical Centrum.
Yeah, you also work with the prevention.
I also work for
in
Medi
Harlem.
Prevent in Harlem.
You see.
So I have been everywhere. But I'm happy that I'm doing what I love to do, and
Okay.
I'm grateful to God that people do get it when I explain to them.
Yeah.
Especially because one was born in the tropics.
Yeah.
You have that edge to be able to tell people don't be sick in the tropics.
Wow.
And then we also have things you could do so that one doesn't get ill.
Yeah, exactly. So, with all this ample of experience you've acquired, tell us, why is it necessary for us to be inoculated before we go to the tropical?
Right. Sorry, before I answer that, I don't introducing myself. I forgot. I don't want to forget. I'm also blessed with 2 daughters.
Oh, wow.
Jane and Fiona.
Yeah.
They are in the UK at the moment.
Jane and Fiona,
And,
okay.
And they were all vaccinated when they were little, for which we are grateful to God.
Amen.
Sorry, back to the question.
Yeah, if we need to, why is it necessary for us to get inoculation before we travel to the tropicals? Is it very necessary, really?
It is necessary.
Tell us then, how necessary is it?
Because prevention is better than cure. You find out that most of the sicknesses that people get vaccination against are either deadly, or there are some things that some sicknesses that if one get them, that's it forever. You just go from one doctor to another, and one never get out of it anymore.
Yeah.
So if you can prevent oneself, if you can prevent one from having to visit the doctor and having to go from one hospital to another because one has caught a type of sickness or the other.
Yeah.
I think it's better to do that.
Yeah.
There is a little thing we say here in Holland. We say het is beter ellende te voorkomen.
Yeah.
Ja, met een kleine prikkie. So that means that it's better to avoid all the problems one get from getting ill. I mean, with a little bit of a jab,
Yeah.
of an injection.
Yeah.
And, so to avoid, it's good to get your inoculations. So to avoid deadly diseases,
Okay.
and to also avoid being sick.
Being sick.
Because after one's been on holiday, you're back. You just want to go back to work, not to go back to the doctor and start.
Exactly.
Yeah, which could cause a lot of stress.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So, if one would need to travel to, like, let's say, like Cameroon or Nigeria or Ghana or any other part of African country, what sort of inoculations am I required to have? Is it just that every one of us just take the same, or there are certain things you need to check before you recommend something for someone?
The number one thing is the state of health of somebody. I mean, if one is healthy, or if one takes some tablets, or one is a patient, because there are some vaccinations that you also you have to check with the specialist if it's okay to do that or not.
Yeah.
But in the general, Africa is divided into 3 parts. You have the northern part of Africa.
Yes.
Where you have the Egypt, you have the Morocco, the all those the northern part.
Yes, Algeria and
the
the rest
kind of
them.
injection that you need for those areas is different from what you need for West Africa.
Oh.
And South Africa is another. Is also, but the West African bit is when you need a lot more.
Really?
Yeah, maybe because it's more with a lot of forest, and it's more humid.
Yeah.
And it's richer. Therefore, there are a lot of things that will grow there better than the other areas.
Really?
In dry areas,
Yeah.
things don't grow. You know, like infections.
Yeah.
They dry up so quickly.
Okay.
But then they're really luscious and green. So for places like West Africa, for example, from west to the east,
Yeah.
down to a little bit around Angola, thereabouts.
Yeah.
Also, it's good to be vaccinated against yellow fever.
Oh, really? Yes.
DTP, that's against diphtheria, tetanus, and polio. It's good to be vaccinated against hepatitis A, hepatitis B, typhoid fever is in Africa. It's something one could vaccinate against. There is rabies.
Wow.
Rabies among
Yes.
the pets,
Yeah.
the streets, the animals,
Yes,
household
like,
animals.
yes,
like,
exactly. The
yeah,
dogs.
like dogs,
Yeah.
cats, even monkeys. I mean, it's amazing. Some people have monkeys as pets nowadays.
Really?
You know, yeah, monkeys, bats. 'Cause I remember when we were little, we just pick up bats on the they could have rabies, and rabies is deadly. It is deadly, especially
Really?
if one has the sickness, you can't cure it.
Really?
Yeah, so it's those are the things that one should consider when you're traveling.
Yeah.
And
Wow. Wow. This is terrible. You made mention of DT what?
DTP.
DTP.
Yeah, that's diphtheria, tetanus, and polio.
Oh, tetanus. Yeah.
And sometimes, according to the season, there's also meningitis. Meningitis is the inflammation of the brain, the covering of the brain down to the spinal cord. And I mean, when I was studying in Nigeria, in that season we see a lot of children coming with this. It is there.
Yes.
So I think you could vaccinate against. And Africa, there's also tuberculosis in Africa. But then when children are born, they're vaccinated, they're given a BCG.
Yeah.
And with the BCG, they're able to reduce the risk of complications if one finally does get the infection. So these are the things that we talk about. They are the things that people could get vaccinated against right from there before traveling.
Wow.
So
these diseases are really real.
they are real.
And you are saying that if we are traveling to West Africa, we must have all of this.
There are things we talk about. And sometimes if somebody is traveling for like 4 weeks or traveling for 3 months or longer,
Yeah.
so it depends on how long one is going to stay.
Yeah.
If you're staying 3 months or longer, this is handy to do all of them.
You didn't mention malaria.
Because there's no injection against malaria there is an injection against malaria that's being developed at the moment.
Okay.
But for the travelers, it's better to take malaria tablets preventively, like to take it ahead of time and to keep on taking it while you're there, so one does not get malaria. Yeah, you're right. It's also very necessary.
So, when are we supposed to begin to get these inoculations before we travel? When? Like, at which proximity?
I would say anything from 2 weeks to 6 weeks before one travels.
Really?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you need to travel and it's very urgent. So what do you do then?
For the urgent ones, there are some injections that you do. It is the principle between the time that vaccines work,
Yeah.
and the incubation period of a sickness.
6 weeks, really.
That's why some injections we give the day, you can still take them the day you leave. For example, the DTP, it's part of our children vaccination when we were little.
Okay.
So you've had it before. I mean, it works for 10 years.
Okay.
And the thing is, once we give you another one, it's a booster to wake up whatever it is you had before. So that one within 3 days, it's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But things like hepatitis, it's good to start like 1 month before one travels. And yellow fever injection, at least 10 days before one travels. Because when you get the injection, the protection is, the antibodies are gotten by the 10th day.
Yeah.
That's when one gets the protective antibodies.
Yeah.
So, and for people who travel, like what you ask, people who travel, like they have to go like now. If they get a yellow fever injection, for example, we know that yellow fever is caused by mosquitoes.
Okay.
Therefore, we advise them, look, you're not protected yet. Please use a lot of DEET, a lot of mosquito repellent when you're there, at least till your protection is complete.
So, yellow fever comes because of mosquito bites?
Yeah, it is a monkey sickness.
A monkey sickness?
Yeah, the mosquitoes bite the monkeys. It's a virus from the monkeys, and then they come to us.
Yeah, but do we really have monkeys to that level? Because I think it has to be very common in places where they have monkeys. Because I don't think I've really seen monkeys except in the zoo. Yeah. So how come that
Which is
the
right.
few monkeys in Nigeria
Yeah.
can pass this sort of sickness?
They're in the bushes. Let's not forget that. And mosquitoes are also in the bushes, and they fly. Mosquito flies.
Exactly.
So they can reach us.
So by the time they are flying and they get to Europe, they have they become they don't carry diseases anymore.
No, they're not. They're not in Europe.
The ones that are but there are mosquitoes here. The ones here don't carry diseases.
It's a bit difficult to say yes or no. The thing is, the mosquitoes in the tropical in the tropics. Sometimes some of them get in the plane and come with
Exactly.
us down
Yes,
here.
yes.
And then sometimes some of them also get taken in the bamboos that people transport, the bamboo trees or the tires with a little bit of water in them that they bring down here. That's why they also advise when you're going down there, get your vaccinations. Get your vaccinations so that, I mean, if they bite you, once you have your antibodies, then they can't take anything from you to bring down here.
Yeah.
And where one good thing is the mosquitoes don't thrive when it's cold.
Okay.
Because of the weather here. They die. It makes it difficult for them to thrive.
Yeah.
So let's just hope that with a global warming that things we don't begin to see some things that were not here before.
Exactly. So, but you've not answered my question.
All right.
My dear nurse. So the mosquitoes here, they are not infectious?
They don't have...
Look into the camera and tell us, please.
I don't think the mosquitoes here... no, I don't think the mosquitoes here that they have the same diseases that are in Africa. Because there's still something about geographical area. So wherever there's water, there's mosquito. So they may have some other things, but if they have monkeys here, they vaccinated their monkeys.
Wow.
You know, they.
Terrible.
If they have dogs here, I'm sorry. If they have monkeys here, they vaccinated their monkeys. So that's why we don't have yellow fever here.
Wow.
And then that's why they also encourage to vaccinate so that when we go down there, we don't bring it back here.
Yeah, exactly. It's very important.
That's why it's very important.
It's very, very...
Also, you protect yourself. You don't get ill from the sickness because it's also deadly. People could die of yellow fever within 9 days.
Really?
Yeah, that's how terrible it is. So it's to protect yourself and also that one doesn't bring it back to here where there's no yellow fever.
Yeah. And what about hepatitis A and B? How do one get this one?
Hepatitis is the inflammation of the liver.
Okay.
And hepatitis A is the one that one can get through contaminated food and drinks, because the virus is usually in the feces. So when people who have hepatitis A virus, when they go to the toilet and they poo, we don't know whether they wash their hands or not. And say if they don't wash their hands, they go to the toilet, they open the door and they go out, and somebody else comes in. You use the toilet and you wash your hand nicely, and then you open the door, you just take it.
You see, that's why I don't like to shake. Oh. So you can get it by shaking.
So if that person is about hygiene.
Okay.
If that person is not hygienic enough, when they clean, if they don't wash them, because it comes through the feces.
Okay.
So that's why you also don't know who's making your food out there when you eat outside.
Oh, don't say that. Oh, my God.
That's why. But really? Thank God we can prevent it with vaccinations. We can prevent it. So.
And then DB?
The hepatitis B is more terrible than the A.
Oh.
People get it through contact with other people's blood, and they also get it through sex, because it's something that is also in the sperm, it's also within the woman.
Okay.
So that's
within the woman?
What I mean.
Yeah.
within, like I talk about is in the semen, but it's also within the fluids within inside
of
the
the
woman.
woman.
Of the
Okay,
woman.
okay.
So that's why somebody, if one has relationship with
Yes.
somebody who's that one could get it. But for somebody who's traveling, we're more like we don't know what could happen. Like in African countries, for example, or other countries where things are less developed, the roads are bad
Yes.
and accidents happen. And before you know it, somebody else gets in one's blood. You don't know if that person has hepatitis B or not. So that's how one could get it, or through tattoos. People who do tattoos.
Really?
You don't know if the instruments are clean enough.
Yeah.
And then some people, you go to the barber. You know, people use blades to shave.
Yeah.
And you don't know if the blades are properly sterilized. You know, those are the little
things.
Little things.
Wow.
Or people go to the dentist. The dentist is inside the mouth. If there's a cord, the blood gets in. All those operations that people think, oh, it's very cheap, I'm going abroad to do it, it's cheaper, but you don't know how instruments and things are
handled.
disinfected.
Yes, exactly.
So that's how one could get it. But what I also want to say is, thank God there are vaccinations.
Yes.
So if one gets vaccinated, then you're protected.
Yeah, but but most of the time people only come for vaccination when they are traveling.
Yeah.
So when they are not traveling, so how can they get some preventive for this?
They can just come by themselves.
And they get vaccinated.
Yeah, you can be vaccinated for any. You just come and say, okay, I have a feeling I might be traveling in the future. In case of last minute travel, for example. So I have come to get my vaccinations. So anybody can.
So something like this rabies and hepatitis and typhoid fever, the sort vaccinations are available at all time.
They are available at all times. Sometimes when one, like, for example, at this moment, the rabies, there's a shortage of the rabies vaccination. And what we advise people is, please, when you travel abroad, don't pet animals. Don't touch their hair. Don't play with them.
Okay.
Because a dog is very happy with them. They could lick one. Because the virus is in the saliva of the animals.
No. Don't say that.
It is.
Hey!
It is. It is.
Because here, please, nurse, permit me. I have seen some of these people here. They're busy taking the ice cream and they give to the dog. The dog finishes and they start again. So their dogs don't have this rabies.
The dogs are vaccinated because they go to the dentist. To their what do you call?
Veterinary,
the veterinary doctor, the doctor for the animals. That's the difference between the Western countries and the developing countries.
Yeah.
Because the Western countries take the animals to the vet. They vaccinate them against rabies. That's why things like cats, dogs, all those household animals are vaccinated. That's why they could do all sorts of things with them. And but in the developing countries, people don't even have enough money to eat. So
talk less of
who cares about
taking the dog?
that's the difference. That's the difference. And even here, if people get bitten by a bat, for example, or a fox, they have to be vaccinated because we can't catch all the wild animals and vaccinate them. So, but their household animals are protected.
Really?
That's why.
That is here.
Yeah, that's
but
why.
over there, not.
We don't know.
Okay, so your advice is that when people travel to the tropicals, they don't need to romance with, play with the dogs and with all of this household animals.
Yes, please. Especially children, because they grew up here and they're used to picking up everything. Pick up the lizard, pick up the dog and stuff. So we need to let our children know that when you go to Africa with me, you cannot do that because the animals, they are not vaccinated.
Okay.
And if they have rabies is deadly. If somebody catches rabies as a sickness, it is not treatable.
It's not treatable?
Yeah, the person is gonna die. That's
Really?
how it's just a few few people in the world that survived it. So that's how
This is unbelievable.
it is. It is. So what I advise people is, I found out that because of the situation of things, people have guard dogs. So when you're going to visit people, ask them, do you have dogs?
Yeah, yeah, they are everywhere.
So that they could
Because
hold
of thieves.
they could hold their dogs before you get there. So the one does not get into somebody's compound, then the dog jumps at one.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's very, very important. And if you can vaccinate your family, please do. Please do. The injections is within 1 week, 2 injections, and that's it. It will help a long way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It will help a long way.
So
Prevention
when people
is better than cure.
So somebody who is out there watching this broadcast,
Yeah.
please, we are discussing on preparations before you travel to the tropicals, the inoculations you're supposed to have, and then our own nurse is in the studio. He's one of us, Mrs. Catherine Adu Farashoranti. So he's one of our own. So feel free to give us a call right now on 020-3374-160 in case you want to interact directly with her. So call the studio line and she will pick up any of your questions. Those of you who are watching us on the Facebook and all the tubes, so send in your questions and we can also channel them to her. Thank you. So you also give advice on the sort of food that people are supposed to eat when they travel. What do you mean by that?
Sometimes because we've lived here, it's not easy to. People don't think that I also need to eat properly when I'm in the tropics, and that's one of the. So when one is going home, you need to do everything you can so you don't have diarrhea.
Yes.
It is possible. Because a lot of people think, oh, it's diarrhea, everybody has it. Well, it's possible. It's when you're there, things like a salad,
yeah,
coleslaw are
Yeah.
easy things that the people add to the food when you go to the restaurant.
Yes, exactly.
But the thing is, you've been out for a long time. The water in the Western countries are cleaner and healthier.
Okay.
And then your tummy is also used to that water.
Yeah.
So if you drink any water that's less in quality, the body begins to react.
Oh.
So that's why we say things like salad, you don't even know what sort of water is used to wash the salad in the first instance.
Hey, yes.
You don't know where they got it from. And then, but the principle then is whatever is cooked, then the bacteria is dead. So cooked food, order your food now. Let them make it that you could still see the steam. Fresh, you eat it, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's better not to go to places where food has been made for a long time and then they will be warming it up.
Yeah.
You know, because of the heat in the tropics, things get bad quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
And you also don't know how many days they've kept those things to be warming them up.
Exactly.
That's where the tummy problems comes from. And sometimes people who have this, the problem never go away. People just keep going to the doctor, they do this test and do that test, they can't find anything.
Yes.
Just because you ate one simple thing.
Yeah.
And things like ice cream, for example, I mean, they're mixed with water.
Yes.
So you also don't know what sort of water is used. So what we advise is it's better to eat ice cream that like a Magnum, something that is wrapped and in a very reliable place where you know that the NEPA,
You may not even
where the electricity works.
Yeah. You may not even know. You may not even know that after having eaten that,
Yeah.
you have such a terrible
No.
gastroenteritis or what do you call it?
Gastroenteritis.
So I had one. I was just eager to eat this fried yam, with the salad in the hotel where we
salad.
stayed. And yes, because that's the way they normally serve it.
Yeah.
They serve the fried
coleslaw.
yam with coleslaw and with fried fish. Man,
That's yum.
I finished this thing. I could not. I finished this thing just not 30 minutes or 15 minutes after I had eaten. The thing started.
That's it.
Hey,
It starts a few hours after
My dear.
you've eaten.
it was so terrible. Honestly, it was before I could know it. I was no more able to get up.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Ha. I thank the Lord though that I survived this trip. I
Yeah.
survived that trip and I came back.
I can imagine.
It was like life was going off me. My husband began to pray and pray and pray.
I can imagine.
But I thank God though that I survived. Then I
Yeah.
said to myself, the guy even that brought the food, I told him, please don't serve me anymore. Yeah, because you know, they will bring the food and then they are opening it for you. You don't know what is in their hands. You don't know.
Yeah, it's about the hand hygiene. Very, very important.
May God be merciful. Honestly, in Africa, it's so difficult to maintain all of these principles as we are mentioning them, you know.
I think when one goes, it's good to know a good place where you can eat. Place where a lot of people go to, then that means the food is being made, it's being bought, and it's so that's fresh, just fresh. And then that the food is properly cooked. I mean, we tell people well done.
Yeah.
Please cook it well done.
Yeah, not half boiled.
Not half boiled.
Yes.
And when they things like freshly squeezed juice, nah, because it's the principle again. Somebody else is freshly squeezing that for you. You don't know how clean the hands are.
Hey, noses, you will
So-
kill us.
So it's better to take a pack juice that is packed.
Yeah.
That you say, bring it, I'll open it myself.
Okay.
So it's your hands are clean because you don't know what's in the other person's
Because
hand.
even some of them, they want to open it and then they will use this thumb and put it again. Then
You know,
whatever is in their finger has gone in.
it's gone in. So take packed juice
Yeah.
that you can open yourself. Whatever is packed has been made under vacuum. And then that's how they keep bacteria and all the things that can affect the body. That's how
Yes.
they keep them away from that. And things like ice cubes in drinks. So that it's a matter of that one is consciously doing stuff. When you travel, like, I've made up my mind, I don't want to be sick. So then you keep an eye out. Like, oh, I don't want ice cream in my drink. I don't want ice cubes in my drinks.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Or my Coca-Cola, you bring it and I'll get something, open it myself. Do a lot of things yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Take fruits that you can peel yourself. And fruit that you can wash with the bottled water.
Yeah.
And then even when brushing one's teeth, it's better to to use bottled water to rinse your mouth out. Because the mucous membrane of the mouth, whatever water you put in there is going to be absorbed. And sometimes you just need a little bit of the water to get ill.
Really?
So you can only use the water to take a bath. These are the little things you do to keep you healthy and strong. These are the little things.
You need a lot of money to travel.
Water is very essential. I mean, when I'm traveling, I tell my sister, you don't need to buy food, you don't need to buy it, just get me water. Make sure at any point in time, I can drink water from the bottle. Very important. And it's also good to take the oral rehydration salt with you,
Yeah.
the ORS. If one does get diarrhea, the most important thing is that you're not dehydrated. So as soon as it comes, you begin to drink that. Or you drink Coca-Cola. We call it without the what do you call it? Without
Without what?
the bubbles.
Oh, what does that mean?
So what does that mean? That means you get a bottle of Coca-Cola because when one has diarrhea, you see the water comes down and you need to put it back. Therefore, you get a bottle of Coca-Cola, you put a bit of sugar in it. When you put the sugar, all the gas escapes.
Oh, okay.
Then you're able to just drink it as if you're drinking water.
Oh,
That way you get sugar back for energy and you get the water back. Yeah, you don't get to feel so weak. You don't get to feel so weak.
this is a very good one.
So,
So, wow, this is awesome.
and hand hygiene is very, very important. For myself, I had an experience that I traveled abroad to China and I got to the toilet of a chic restaurant. There is no water in the toilet.
Really?
No tissue.
No, really.
So things
really
like
cheap.
tissue, very, very important.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, even if it means what they call tissue for the pocket, for the pocket, make sure you have that. Make sure you have wet wipes. So if they don't have tissue, they don't have water, then you have your own tissue and something to keep your hands clean.
Clean, yes.
And things like hand soap, like Dettol hand soap.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
If your hands are clean, your food are properly cooked, there is a huge chance that you will not even have diarrhea. That's very, very important.
Wow.
Very
We've
important.
even run short of time now. But before we sign up, I would like to know who are eligible to be inoculated.
Everybody from age 6 months.
Oh, really?
From age 6 months. For the yellow fever injection, from age 9 months. And for rabies, it doesn't matter, no age limit. No age limit.
Really?
Yeah.
So even when people are old as well, are they
Yeah.
supposed to?
In fact, they need it
Pregnant
more.
people as well?
Yeah, we vaccinate pregnant people. We don't want them to be ill. There are some injections they can't take though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes for the yellow fever, when somebody is pregnant, we really need to really check. Are they in a place where they cannot but get yellow fever? And that's when they finally give it. So for that, it's a matter of checking with the doctor and to really look at the risk. Somebody is really at risk and is pregnant and the person cannot cancel the trip, then we
Look at such important information you've just
Look at
given
it.
to us now. But you know what baffles me is that people have to really come and bring your people out before we get this information. Meanwhile, if there's a way for this information to saturate all through the channels, the networks, so people can know, you know,
Yeah.
they can know what is causing some of these sicknesses they are having. I mean, they will want to stay out of it.
Yeah.
You know, those who are taking it for granted, when they've used the restroom, they don't wash their hands, they will take it serious.
Yeah.
If they
That's
know that they
right.
can get all these hepatitis and whatever from that. Do you understand?
Yeah. And typhoid fever.
But it's
you
very
know what
difficult for
typhoid is
nurses
in
to come
Nigeria?
out to be giving information, you
Yeah.
know, because where there is no vision, people die, people are killed.
Yeah.
Information must be made available.
That's right.
Nurses have to come out, be everywhere, just to let the masses know this and this and this, they are detrimental to your health.
Yeah.
Except we are traveling there, we just get a little. You guys are just, you need this, you need this. Within 15 minutes, your work is done because
It's done.
you are looking for the next client. Even it is within 5 minutes.
That's right. That's
So
right.
we don't get to know why must I take this one and why mustn't I take this, you know? How can you guys improve in this?
Well, I'll say it's good that people come
Yeah.
way ahead of time. And some people also think, maybe like the pregnant people, they may think, I don't need anything for malaria. Please come.
Okay.
And I also tell people, like, you don't have to wait till the last minute. If you think, oh, next year there's a chance I might travel, just come. You don't need to wait till the last minute. Just come way ahead of time.
So all of these inoculations, do they all last for 10 years? Because the last time we came, you said we don't need to have that anymore. You guys started by saying it's for 5 years, and then you went to 10 years, and now you say it's lifetime. How? Why did they discover this all of this time?
We thank God for research. They just found out that the yellow fever injection, there are some injections that when you get there, you make antibodies. And the antibodies are stored in the body. So if the sickness comes, the antibody just comes up and cleans it up. So they found out that yellow fever injection used to be for 10 years.
Yeah.
But when they did some research, they found out that if you've ever had it, the antibodies never leaves.
Really?
That is stored for life. So that was why we've started telling people since about a year and a half.
Yeah.
It's for life. DTP is 10 years. It was 15 before, but it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Hepatitis A injection, if one gets two, one day 0, the second one 6 months after, is for 25 years before. It's now 30 to 40 years.
Wow.
So it's like they keep checking. They
Yeah.
say that it works longer.
Yeah.
And hepatitis B, if one takes 3 of them within a year, if it works very well, it's for life.
Really?
The injection against typhoid fever is every 3 years. That one is like that. And the one for meningitis, every 5 years.
Really?
For rabies, it's for life.
Yeah.
The only thing is, after getting that, if there's an incident, you need to booster the antibodies for rabies. You get 2 more injections there to wake it up, and that's it.
So even if one is not traveling, can one still go and take some of these injections?
Please kindly go ahead.
Really?
For the days of when there's a last-minute travel, then you have them already. It is handy. Then there's no panic, no stress.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you also call, you can't get an appointment.
It's true.
Because it's so busy.
Yeah.
The agenda is full. That's it.
Yeah.
They can't fit anybody
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
So it's handy to do it.
Wow.
It's handy
Awesome.
to do it.
Any other question out there, those who are watching us? All right. So what would you like those who have watched us to remember of this broadcast of today?
I have a question.
Oh.
If somebody who was bitten by a dog,
Yeah.
you said people who are bitten by a dog who get rabies, within what space of time would that manifest?
What I would say is don't wait till it manifests. There is a cure. If one gets bitten immediately, go to the doctor.
Yeah.
Then one will get antibodies injected and 5 vaccinations after that.
Okay.
But it is urgent.
Yeah.
If they can't find antibodies in the country where you are, please come back home. We have it here.
Okay.
You know, they have it in the Western countries.
Yeah.
Or maybe countries that are close by.
Yeah.
So
It's
can the person
urgent.
survive
Yeah.
let's say,
Yeah.
a week or 2
I would not give you a week. Please, it is something of immediately.
Oh.
Go look for medical help immediately. Because if one begin to have the symptoms,
Yeah.
it's no longer treatable.
And how long does it stay before the symptoms come up?
Sometimes a week, sometimes a month, sometimes 6 months. So it's just, you don't want to have the symptoms. That's just what I want to say.
Exactly. Nobody would like to have
Because it's like, it's a death penalty then. Because once the symptoms are there, it is not treatable. So people should really, really keep away from animals when you travel. Watch out for children. Make sure they don't play with animals. Or you check with your host, maybe the person you're staying with, are your animals vaccinated against rabies? All those questions are very necessary.
They don't do it at, I don't think many homes do that in Africa. Yeah. So what's your advice to us before we sign up?
All right. My advice is prevention is better than cure.
Yes.
And that when you can prevent a deadly or something that could make one get sick and start going to the doctor, and it's very frustrating. You spend a lot of time, you spend a lot of money. I mean, if you can prevent that, please take time to do that.
Yes.
And because most of the diseases that we're talking about, they are preventable. They are preventable.
Exactly.
Malaria is preventable. Take your malaria tablets. Especially people who think I was born in Africa, I always go. It's just that one time, once it goes wrong, it can go badly wrong.
Yes.
So please take your injections, take your malaria tablets, and hygiene is very important. So that's what I want to.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you
It's
so
a privilege.
much.
Thank you so much for
Able
having me.
nurse. We have really enjoyed it. We want to have you more because you could see the time quickly went very, very fast. And we have not even gone deeper. Okay?
Yeah.
So we would like to, from time to time, please, when you have something very important that will help your own people,
Okay.
please, just get message across to me, and then let's see how we can air it, because I believe that this broadcast of today will go so far, and then those who are ignorant now, you see, you've impacted life indirectly without even knowing.
It's a privilege
So
to do that.
we are so grateful that God granted us the opportunity to have you. Thank you
Me
so
too.
much. Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
having me.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
for
much. Thank you.
having me. It's a privilege.
Thank you, our fans, for having watched this broadcast. And remember, you can go back to majestytv.org and then download this message and send it to your loved ones. And make sure that you also accord the honor that is due to the lady that have just impacted us. So don't take the glory for yourself. So we thank you for watching, and we look forward to having her more and more, and then also getting some reactions from you. Thank you, and stay very blessed. Let's say bye to them, please.
Bye-bye.
Bye. We hope
Or should I say see you next time?
See you next time. Yeah, that's the distance. You didn't tell us even if somebody will want to come.